Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind, and if you think you know everything about Taylor Swift's dominance, think again, because this woman just did something that has the entire music industry shaking in their boots. And I'm not talking about some small-time achievement, I'm talking about pure, unfiltered, record-breaking madness that's happening right now as we speak. Stockholm, Sweden just witnessed something absolutely insane, and I mean insane in every sense of the word, because Taylor Swift didn't just perform, she didn't just sing, she completely annihilated the all-time attendance record at Friends Arena like it was nothing, like she was swatting a fly, and the crowd, the energy, the absolute chaos that erupted when she announced this news live on stage was something you had to see to believe. But don't worry, I've got all the details, and they're going to make your head spin. But before I dive into this absolute carnage that just went down, make sure you smash that subscribe button right now, because content like this that breaks down these massive moments in real time doesn't come around every day, and if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the most explosive entertainment coverage on this platform. And while you're at it, absolutely destroy that like button, because this story deserves every single like it can get. And trust me, you're going to want to share this with everyone you know. Picture this: Taylor Swift walks out on stage in Stockholm to a crowd that's already going absolutely mental. The energy is electric, the fans are screaming at levels that probably registered on seismic equipment. And then she drops this bomb. She tells the crowd that they just made history. They didn't just attend a concert, they participated in breaking the most highly attended show in that stadium's history ever. And when I say ever, I mean in the entire existence of that venue. No artist, no event, nothing has ever drawn crowds like what Taylor Swift pulled off. The Eras Tour has been an absolute monster since day one, but what happened in Stockholm wasn't just another successful show, it was a complete demolition of expectations and records that people thought were untouchable. This isn't some participation trophy, this isn't some inflated number, this is raw, undeniable proof that Taylor Swift operates on a level that other artists can't even comprehend, let alone compete with. And the fact that she did this in Sweden, a country that literally renamed itself to Swiften in honor of her arrival, shows you the kind of global impact we're dealing with. You want to know what's really wild about this whole situation? It's not just that she broke the record, it's how she broke it. The fans weren't just sitting there politely clapping, they were singing so loud that Taylor herself had to stop mid-song multiple times just to take in the pure volume of voices echoing through that arena. They were dancing so hard that the entire structure was probably shaking. They were jumping and screaming and participating in every single moment like their lives depended on it. And that's when you know you're witnessing something special, something that transcends just music and becomes a cultural phenomenon. And speaking of cultural phenomena, let's talk about what this means for the music industry, because what Taylor Swift is doing right now is rewriting the rules of what's possible for live entertainment. She's not just selling tickets, she's creating experiences that people will remember for the rest of their lives. She's building memories that become generational stories. And the numbers don't lie, the statistics don't lie, the records don't lie. This woman has turned concert touring into an art form that nobody else can match. The European leg of the Eras Tour has been absolutely devastating. Every single venue she touches gets obliterated by demand and attendance figures that make other artists look like they're playing in their garage. Stockholm was just the latest victim in a string of cities that have been completely overwhelmed by the sheer force of Swiftie dedication. And when I say overwhelmed, I mean it in the best possible way, because these fans show up ready to give everything they have. But here's where it gets really interesting. Taylor Swift announced this record-breaking news live during the show, which means she found out about it in real time and decided to share that moment with her fans instead of waiting for some press release or social media announcement. She made it part of the show experience itself. And you can hear in her voice the genuine surprise and gratitude, because even someone who's achieved what she has achieved can still be amazed by the loyalty and dedication of her fan base. Now I need you to understand something about what this record actually means, because it's not just about numbers on a paper. It represents the culmination of years of building relationships with fans, creating music that resonates on a deep emotional level, and delivering live performances that justify every single dollar spent on tickets. When someone breaks an all-time attendance record, it means they've created something that people are willing to prioritize above everything else in their lives. The Eras Tour itself is a masterclass in understanding your audience, because Taylor Swift took the concept of nostalgia and turned it into a 3.5-hour journey through different phases of her career and her fans' lives. She's not just performing songs, she's recreating moments and memories that people associate with specific times in their lives, and that's why people are showing up in numbers that break decades-old records. Sweden temporarily renaming itself to Swift and wasn't just a cute marketing gimmick, it was recognition of the economic and cultural impact that one person can have on an entire country. When Taylor Swift comes to town, it's not just a concert, it's an event that affects hotels, restaurants, transportation, local businesses, and creates a ripple effect that benefits entire communities, and Stockholm just experienced that impact in the most intense way possible. The visual of Taylor Swift on that stage looking out at a record-breaking crowd and genuinely marveling at what she was seeing is something that encapsulates everything special about live music and human connection in that moment. She wasn't just a global superstar, she was someone experiencing genuine amazement at the power of shared experience and collective energy, and her fans were right there with her, creating that energy and making that moment possible. This isn't going to be the last record that gets broken on this tour, because the European leg still has major stops coming up, and if Stockholm is any indication, those venues better prepare themselves for numbers they've never seen before. Taylor Swift has created something that goes beyond typical touring metrics. She's created a cultural movement that's measured not just in ticket sales but in emotional impact and community building.